Hello, everyone. I am Dana Levenberg, member of the New York State Assembly for the 5th District of New York State. Welcome to my podcast series, Building Healthy Communities. My mission as a legislator is to build healthy communities in every sense of the word, environmentally healthy, economically healthy, physically and mentally healthy, all through the lens of equity. In this podcast series, I speak with the leaders, advocates, and others who are helping to build healthy communities here in the 95th Assembly District and beyond. We share information and resources for our local residents, and hopefully, this is news that you can use. November marks an important national holiday, Veterans Day, when we pause to thank veterans for their service to our country and resolve to help veterans and their families live full lives after their sacrifice and service. And I can say we don't do enough. But I'm glad that we are joined today by Sharon Fuller and Todd Doris they support veterans, and they're with Guardian Revival in Beacon, New York. Guardian Revival has been providing support to first responders, to veterans and military members who are vital guardians of our communities and country for over 5 years through services, activities, and resources that are completely cost free to our guardians. You can learn more about Guardian Revival and how to get involved at www.guardianrevival.org. So, as I mentioned, we have Todd and Sharon, and Todd is the program coordinator of Dwyer Vet to Vet of Putnam through Guardian Revival, and a 7-year veteran of the U.S. Navy and 8-year veteran of the U.S. Army. Todd worked as an outdoor leader for another summit before being awarded the program coordinator position, and now helps lead Guardian Revival and advocates for community-based programs to assist with mental health struggles and healing. That's the big and most important part. Sharon currently serves as the operations manager at Guardian Revival. She is a Navy veteran and an experienced peer specialist. She served in the U.S. Navy as an intelligence specialist, where she was responsible for analyzing intelligence data and preparing and delivering intelligence briefings to support mission critical decisions. Sharon's passion for supporting the veteran and first responder communities is deeply rooted in her own personal journey and challenges with mental health and reintegration after military service, which we know so many folks have. In today's episode, I look forward to hearing more from Todd and Sharon about Guardian Revival's mission, the programs that you offer, the First Responder Peer Support Program Act, and how we can all get involved to support our guardians. So, with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Sharon and Todd, to tell us a little bit more about Guardian Revival and about the main goals of the organization, which I maybe already covered a little bit, but please fill in the gaps.
Thank you. We're excited to be with you today and just talk a little bit more about Guardian Revival. So, Guardian Revival is a nonprofit, not-for-profit that aims to improve the mental health and well-being of military, veterans, first responders, who are all their guardians and their families associated with mental health in a non-clinical setting. Our main goal is to decrease the sense of loneliness, increase a sense of purpose, help increase growth in a social network, and increase a sense of belonging and improve physical health, which all in turn improve our overall well-being.
Fantastic. It's amazing. Todd, do you want to talk a little bit about what services you offer and who is eligible for them and how our guardians can benefit from the services that you offer? Because I'm hoping that they all get to the point that Sharon just described, which is just feeling happier and more productive and really feeling a part of our communities and important and respected.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, so with our programs, we help our veteran community, our guardian community, with our different programs that we have here at Guardian Revival, such as Another Summit, where I used to work at, where we conduct outdoor adventures. We day hikes, overnight camping, we do canoe camping and stuff. We have Field Craft series where we teach people how to make shelters and build fires and stuff, and just how to be one with nature and leave it untouched. Like if we walk in there and stuff, walk out leaving it in a better position than it was when we first got there. We have Boots and Paws, which is our companion dog program. Veterans and first responders can put an application in, and if they meet the criteria, then Boots and Paws will award a companion dog to the family and pay for a full year's worth of insurance, medical bills. We give them food, crates, and everything. And these are trained dogs with the company that we work with, so that they're already well-behaved animals and stuff. And it gives the guardian that sense of purpose again to, have something to help thrive in life. Another one is Encore that we do. And with Encore, they help teach people how to play instruments. They know how to already play an instrument. They help them write music, record the music and stuff. We have our own recording studio, and we've put a few people on Spotify, and we've cut labels for them. So Guardian also has their own label, which is pretty neat.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah.
It's very neat. And then we have our peer services. And so we have peer services for both veterans and first responders. And our peer volunteers that are running those are also guardians. And so like for veteran peer services, you're talking with other veterans. And for first responder peer services, you're also talking with first responders. So that's really nice to be on that same wavelength, and having people understand the issues you might be going through. We have Rise, which is fairly new, but Rise is our fitness and wellness program. And so they teach things like meditation, yoga, they do nutrition and stuff, to help the well-being, just health of the individual. We have Homefront, which is also a part of our Dwyer program, and we do family events, so it's like we will take people out to the Hudson Valley Renegades baseball games and stuff. Sometimes we'll do the dog awarding at the baseball games to honor our guardians through that. We'll do plays in the park, things like that. So yeah, so those are our programs that we give to our veterans and guardians in general.
Incredible. I mean, it really runs the gamut from like nature to animals to the arts. It's phenomenal. Really finding, I guess, what clicks with people, making them feel good about themselves, maybe giving them another hobby or talent, or a famous label on Spotify, something like that. It's so great. And the peer part of it, I think, is also so important because I think so many, I mean, like, you're a veteran, you're a first responder, you went through basic training or whatever, hours and hours of training, you've been through fires, whatever it is, you've seen people dying, really hard things, right? And sometimes, like, you're supposed to be the tough guy, and I say guy, meaning, person, right? But you're supposed to be the tough guy, and tough guys, they don't need any help, right? They don't need any support, they don't have any issues. But we know better, right? I mean, we all know better because we've seen, the stats, and we know that whether it's PTSD from, any traumatic event that has been experienced, to just like feeling that they came back and they don't know, they don't fit in, from someplace, or any daily, or just the stresses of the daily, life of a first responder, having that peer, like, I think that's just so important because it's like turning to, your brother, your sister, your friend who really gets it. Like, it's an insider, it's not an outsider. It's somebody who gets what you're going through. And I think that having that, for people who otherwise wouldn't necessarily seek out help is just amazing. In addition to all of the things that you talk about, which is that just that experiential learning and feeling like you have purpose because there's things to do.
Yeah, and
How do you take advantage of these incredible landscapes? I know you talked a little bit about that outdoors, learning to make
Tools so
shelters and
that they
things like
can
that.
go
But,
out
we're in
and
the lower Hudson Valley and
reteach
we
them
just
and share
have,
them with their families.
this beautiful nature here. Like, can you talk a little bit more about what the experiences are for some of our first responders and vets who participate in that program? We froze. Dang it. You guys there? Hello, hello. I froze. My internet went bad. Okay, we're coming back. Coming back. Okay, we froze, but we're back. We're back. Did you guys? I don't know if you heard me, but I lost you there for a second.
Did not hear you
Hopefully.
at all.
Okay, you didn't hear me at all? Okay. Okay, well, we're just talking about like how to enjoy the lower Hudson Valley with some of those outdoor programs. Can you talk a little bit more? You talked a little bit about the shelter building and things like that, but hiking, what else do you do in terms of taking advantage of the actual beautiful Hudson Valley, the river, the landscapes, the parks, etc.?
So we do that because there's been scientific studies and stuff that have shown that being in nature can change our cortisol levels. And the cortisol is the stress hormone and stuff. And when we lower that stress hormone, um, we in turn improve our well-being. And so that's why with a lot of our programs, we try to include a lot of the outdoors, whether it's going to the baseball games, which is outdoors. We call it nature bathing. So it's like just being around trees, because you can sit underneath a tree that's in your front yard for 15 minutes, and that will change your cortisol levels. So that's why we include the outdoors so much.
That's incredible. Also, well, it's obviously easy to meditate in nature, but I'm thinking that all those people with the doggies have, you know, take their doggies out, right? Their
Yes, get
companion
outside.
dogs.
Yes, yes.
Got to get outside for those walks,
I
right?
love
Yeah,
it.
even if you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
Every morning like clockwork, I'm taking my dogs out for the mile walk.
Yeah, yeah, except in the really bad weather or something like that when they refuse. But other than that, right? That's awesome. So that's amazing. And I think, the arts, like I just, I know how important music is for the soul. I mean, you must see it, besides, the producing labels and stuff like that, just participating, whether it's with other people like in a band or just learning to play an instrument, really is so healing. And even if you're just like plucking away at the guitar or something like that, you feel like you can, once you got those three chords down, you feel like you've accomplished something, right? Like
No,
you can sing,
absolutely.
sing anything, right?
Yeah, yeah. We've had one of our biggest ones is with the ukuleles, and
Yes.
it's like we'll give people ukuleles at the end of the session, but like you'll have somebody with no experience playing an instrument, and you just see their body language. When they first come in, they're nervous, they're shy, and stuff. But then, like you said, they learn those two or three chords, and then they hear everybody else, and they're a part of it. They're a part of that community. And you just watch their body language like rise up, and they get a smile on their face, and they leave so happy. And then usually they come back because they want to play more jam sessions, which is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. I mean, and before you know it, you're writing songs and just singing with other people. It's so much fun.
Yep.
I'm going back to my questions. I know that Guardian Revival has been advocating for the First Responder Peer Support Program Act. Do you want to talk a little bit about what this legislation would do if passed by both the Assembly and Senate?
Yeah, so with this bill, it's important because it's similar to what veterans kind of have already and stuff, but with first responders, they have high statistics as well. And this bill will provide the peer-to-peer support for first responders, that's involving mental health for them and stuff. And it will include the training for other first responders to be able to recognize mental illness, understand suicide prevention and the traumas that are aligned with it and stuff, so that they're better informed, so that they can help their peers, and it'll be in-house. And what will happen, one of the main stigmas is that a lot of the issues go unreported for fear of being let go from their career. And with this bill, it's written in there that the PII, or the personal identifying information, will be blocked from the agency or the organization that they work for. So kind of like HIPAA, it's like this information, if they come into the program to get help, will not be shared with the employer so that they won't be losing their job. That being said, if it is something so severe, like an act of harm towards themselves or towards others, yes, like a mandated reporter, we have to report it, and take those necessary steps. But we want to, with this bill, we want to take care of the issue before it even gets to that. Yeah, so it's all about the peer-to-peer support, invite, like I say, their peers and stuff that they work with.
So yeah, and I kind of talked a little bit about it, but can you talk even more about the peer support for first responders and why we know that it's so critical, specifically, and maybe a little bit about that training, what that looks like?
So part of the training teaches like how to listen to the individual, that is asking for the help, so that when we get the information from them and build it, it's like they might be stressed about something in the moment that is actually created by something farther back, so it's like we want to get that whole story, that whole picture and stuff, and we want to make the person feel comfortable that they're talking to us and stuff like that, so that we can get to the underlying issues, to help them with that trauma, and then give them guidelines of, what they could do in the moment to, just be safe for the day, safe for right now is what we call it. And, hopefully that can direct them to that suicide prevention, right? We want to prevent it. Like, it's okay to feel stressed, and it's okay to have those feelings. We want them to, make sure that they understand that and stuff, but that there are people that are willing to help and willing to listen and stuff like that, and then guide them towards the resources that they may need.
I think that's the biggest goal, to really provide the resources in a non-clinical way to allow them to be able to express themselves, to be able to feel comfortable in a sense. Not saying that they will just open up and give everything and let everything go, but to just provide that safe space to them, that they feel welcome. And that's the biggest part. I think that having that bill passed, because you have it provided for veterans. So we definitely think that first responders, they face some similar traumas, they face some similar exposures, and then you have some of them who have faced it from the veteran standpoint and faced it from the first responder standpoint. So now I'm bridging that gap and coming together to say, listen, this is for you as well. So you're welcome here, you're welcome in, come in, and here it is. We're going to help you. We're not going to tell you, like, just because you have that problem or break that confidentiality. Like, we really think that it's very important, because it's definitely needed.
And when we say the peer-to-peer for first responders, like, first responders is a huge umbrella. It's not just the police officers, it's also corrections, it's the dispatchers, it's the EMS, like it's the court officers. It's everybody who's wearing a uniform is going to be covered under that umbrella.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess, really, I mean, even down to the traffic enforcement, right? I mean, people, probably have some very unpleasant encounters on a daily basis in sort of these routine tasks that you think are nothing, but they're dealing with the, people and, very, again, unpleasant situations when they're enforcing the law. And it's hard. And so I'm sure you've seen successes with the program with the veterans, and that's got to translate. And I think you talked a little bit about it, but are there any examples that you can offer?
I actually have two quotes. One is from a companion dog awardee, and he says, "I cannot change the current situation. However, I can move forward with a positive attitude." As far as he received a female dog, and he says, "She gives me a reason to get out of bed every morning. I have a purpose other than work now, that I have my amazing dog." And then we have another, an Encore guardian, who says, "Encore has shown me how music heals and brings people together. The program has given me lifelong friendships and let me spread a little joy and kindness to others through music. So that's just, just two, examples of the impact that we have had on the community. So I just wanted to read those two because I think they
That's
really speak
absolutely
volumes.
lovely.
Yes.
Yeah, just it says it all. I mean, it really, really does. And again, I mean, lots of people who are first responders, also have other jobs, right? Like it's many times and they can be volunteer, right? This is for volunteer or professional. Is that right? Is that right? They're both
Yeah.
eligible. Yeah. Right. So, I mean, again, like, so especially in this area, I mean, I know in my district alone, many of the fire and EMS are volunteers,
Mhm.
so they're doing that on top of their other job and they have to be on call all the time. And, they're again, maybe seeing very difficult situations and with no real outlet except, I mean, I feel like it's so interesting because I always say, like, why are all these people smoking? Like you think of like EMS, like they're supposed to be like making sure people are healthy and they're all smoking because they're all stressed out,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, right, and peer pressure or whatever, like all those things like tie into that sort of, what people do, right, to reduce stress and unwind. And it would be great if, instead they ate a piece of kale, but that's not likely. They're going to be chomping on the kale. Oh my gosh. Anyway, how can our listeners get involved or either get support through the organization or support the organization?
We have a few options for them. First, they can
Tell me.
visit us at GardnerRevival.org to explore our upcoming events and to learn more about the work that we do. They can follow us on the social media to stay up to date and help spread the word. They can donate to our general fund or directly to a program that resonates with them. They also can become a sponsor for they can sponsor an outdoor trip. They can sponsor a companion dog. They can sponsor a music recording session and make a direct impact on a guardian. They also can join us as a champion guardian, where we raise awareness and funds on our behalf by competing in events and sharing our missions with their network. And all the support just helps us empower and uplift those who have served. And we definitely are grateful for all the support and welcome, even if you could always stop by the office.
I love it. And you said the office is in Beacon, right? The
Yes,
office, or I said that.
423 Main Street.
Or 23 Main Street in Beacon. Okay, so we got a place to go. We got some things to help with. I guess, if you would like to train dogs, you got to hook up with the organization that provides those dogs. It sounds like there's so much to do. I mean, I'm guessing you have people who teach music and, again, maybe some paid, some volunteers. Like it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Do you take musical instrument donations? Like, do people donate instruments
Yes,
to the
we
program?
do. We do get
Yeah.
donations for musical instruments. Yes, and it's
All right.
it's a great
I
help.
got a piano for you.
Oh, great!
I'm just laughing because it's so hard to donate pianos. So don't say yes to that because then you got to move it. Well, it just sounds like such great work. I mean, do you have any other anecdotes that you like to share about success stories? Like some of the folks, obviously remain nameless, but like where you saw somebody come in looking like there was never a hope in the world for them and their lives were just kind of turned around and now they're giving back. Is that something that you see with your
I
with your
think that's a
peer
regular
peer support?
basis for us. That is a
Yeah.
regular basis for us that we see. We've had a lot of guardians even join Encore. They come out on Tuesdays for musical jams and they share their stories with one another. And it has helped a lot of them greatly. Just kind of overcome fears, overcome, the stigmas that they've had on their lives for so long. It's just really like you see it like on an everyday basis, like someone has a story. Another thing that if others are interested in seeing the impact that Guardians had on the community, we do list our impact reports on our website. So they can actually review numbers, they can review stories, see pictures. We've had a retreat for couples.
Yep.
And
Nice.
the couples, one was an officer and he reported that, he's just his family, just him and his wife getting that time together to come out amongst the horses. it just was such relief for them. And like it almost like rekindled, that flame for them, that they felt like it was like another beginning for them. And it just, to see the smile on their face, and just like the stress was like relieved, and they were just very happy. And they wrote back to us a good email. That was,
That is fantastic.
you
Oh
know,
my gosh. Yeah.
yeah, put
And
them on
horses,
happier.
horses are also really great therapy, right? I mean,
Yes.
animals, all sorts of animals really help people. I know that, there's like equine therapy is a thing in and of itself, right?
Right.
Yes, yes. Yeah, and that is
So,
something that we also offer too.
yeah.
Guardians can also sign up on our website. They can check out the next events that may be coming up, if we have any for the rest of the year that's coming up, and they can sign up or look for next year, and they will be able to sign up for the Ecos Effect, and join us for equine therapy as well.
Wow. That sounds wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. One last thing. Do you do like music in the woods? Do those things come together ever? No.
So we haven't yet, but we have been talking about it and stuff because we started off we used to have a Friday campfire, and it's just gather around a campfire, and BS with each other and share stories and whatnot. But we've had some participants that have actually asked about that as well, like bringing music, to
Yeah.
the outdoors. So yeah,
Gotta get
we
that
definitely do
drum
that.
circle. As long, yeah, as
Yeah,
long as you're not too close to the neighbors, you're fine, right?
correct.
Definitely.
Oh, it sounds like you guys are just doing phenomenal work, and not only is it great for the people who benefit, but it seems like very, very rewarding for all of you who are part of the solution, and really finding more and more ways to help our first responders and our veterans is it's just incredible. We can't do enough for all those who help us
Agreed.
make sure that they keep us safe and keep us healthy. We're super grateful for everything that you do. So thank you. And
Thank
again, I
you.
hope everybody goes to the website to learn more and watch some videos and participate, find your events and donate. Of course, it's always good.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. And that's all for this episode of Building Healthy Communities. To our veterans and first responders listening, thank you so much for your service. And until next time, please be safe and healthy. And we'll see you around the 95th Assembly District.